fellow page turners, welcome back to the channel. I'm Matthew, the man with a hat, who reads and who watches movies. And today we are doing another episode of Adaption Discussion. I haven't done one of these in a while, but this one is one I wanted to do when I first heard about it, which is why I reread Stephen King's The Long Walk just last month, because the new movie version of it was coming out here in September. Last week, actually a week ago today, as you're watching this as its first day, the movie's in theaters. I said before, I'll put a poster over here. I've said before, this is probably one of my favorite Stephen King books. It's actually, from what I've heard, one of the first ones he wrote, if not the first one he actually wrote. It wasn't published till later when he came up with the Richard Bachman pen name. Essentially, for those of you who don't know the story, a bunch of boys are taken up to Maine. They are told to walk and maintain the same speed. If they go below that speed or stop, they get 3 warnings, and then they are shot in the head. The last one standing wins essentially whatever they want and a huge amount of money to live comfortably for the rest of their lives. It's a very bleak novel, and the movie is the same. And I knew that going in. I think some of the people who were in the auditorium with me did not know what they were exactly in for when they were watching it. I think they were a little bit caught off guard by it. I knew what I was in for, so I was prepped for it. I was ready until I wasn't, if that makes any sense, because I gotta say they did a fantastic job with this. I was very surprised because I thought a movie like this could go wrong in so many ways, and it doesn't. And I think the biggest thing for that is the cast. All the actors are amazing. They're incredible. All very young actors too, so that makes it even that much more impressive, because they are acting just so mature. I mean, they're not young, but you know what I mean. They're not like legends in the business for our main cast of walking guys, and they all are fantastic, every single one of them. There isn't a bad one there. And that's, I think, what makes this movie so powerful, is because of the camaraderie of the characters. On paper, you might be like, oh, a movie where a bunch of people just go walking and talking, that's going to be boring. It's never boring. It is fascinating. It's just, you just can't look away from it, and it's just so interesting, these characters, and you see that they're all coming to this as strangers, and then they build up to friendships, and you know them friendships are going to end before this movie ends, and it's tragic at times. It's heartbreaking at times, especially towards the end, like the last third. It does differ a bit from the book. Instead of 100 people walking, like in the book, it's only 50, which I understand. They simplified it down a little bit for the movie, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. Some character attributes kind of get shuffled around a little bit, and again, to simplify things, to kind of flesh out certain characters, because you're not focusing on as many characters as you are in here. You're kind of, I mean, you have 50 people walking, but we kind of narrow it down to like 6 or 8 that we're really closely following in this book, but with the movie, in the movie. So you kind of are narrowed down so you can kind of connect with those characters, because it's going to be impossible to connect with all the characters in this movie, because then it would take away from that emotional pull that we get, especially, like I said, towards the last third. There's also some other changes that happen in that last third of the movie that differ from the book considerably, especially the end. I won't say anything to spoil the ending of the book or the movie, but it is different in each version. I thought they did a good job with the movie. I really liked the movie. I liked the ending of the movie. But if you're one of these that wants a completely 100% faithful adaptation, you'll probably be disappointed, because it doesn't. It's mostly faithful. It's very faithful in like the themes and what's going on. The last bit of it does differ considerably from the book. So if you're looking for an exact adaptation, you're not going to be happy with that. But like I said, the cast was all fantastic. Mark Hamill as the Major is just having the time of his life. He's not in a lot of the movie, but he's your main villain, and this guy is just a complete, just terrible, terrible person. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, it was just really good. I really thought they did a really good job with it. It's not just R-rated gore and schlock like you'd expect. There's a lot of heart to it and a lot of thinking that comes out of it. It was fantastic. I highly recommend checking out the movie. If you have nothing to do this weekend, it's playing at your nearby theater, go check it out because it is really well done. I was very impressed coming out of that. I almost cried a couple times towards the end too, because it does really get you in those emotional feels. It was just really well done. Can't recommend it enough. Definitely go check it out if you haven't already. And if you have, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Have you read The Long Walk? Did you see the movie already? What did you think of it? I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Or if you think you'd like to go see the movie, I'd love to hear that from you as well. In the meantime, thanks for watching. And until next time, keep turning pages and watching movies.